be completed. Okay, so we'll see. Guys, ready?
Yeah, sir.
So first we'll see how to create a virtual machine. So in any kind of usually any kind of virtualization platforms like a VMware, vSphere, VirtualBox, VMware workstations, okay, Xensor or anything like when you create a virtual machine, it will ask you, you want to create a 32-bit, you want to create a 64-bit, which type of operating system, Windows or Linux or Unix, okay. So they will ask you questions, then you have to put it, okay. But in the creation of virtual machine in the Hyper-V, it is little different. So what it will tell, it is nothing, only it is generation 1 and generation 2. You want to create a virtual machine in the generation 1 or generation 2. Only two options are there. It don't ask you which operating system you want to install, which type of operating system you want to install, like that. This generation 1 support, like you want to install you put an option called a generation 1. I will show you. 1 second. Okay, so it is an I went to new virtual machine. Look at here. Next, name of the virtual machine. Give some name to the virtual machine. So, for example, Windows Server 19 core something name. I put it. You can create a different type of ones. Core 1 machine. So you want to store in a different location, then you can select it and change your location. If you don't want, you want to use a default. I changed already default last time. Means just before we go to Hyper-V settings, I changed the default location. Same thing I have done here. Okay, same. The location came here where you want to store the virtual machine. Now you want to customize and you want to store in a different place, then you can change it also. I'm not doing anything, or maybe I will do like this. You can create a like this also, no problem. But actually not required, guys. It automatically create this folder here and it will do. Okay, no need to do anything. Very simple, new virtual machine. Next, so you want to put a name, right? So I put a name. Okay. So and you want to store in this location, you can leave it like that. Otherwise, you can change the name. That's it. Next, it is a generation 1 and generation 2. Generation 1, this virtual machine generation support 32-bit and 64-bit guest operating system. What is a guest operating system? OS in the virtual machine called a guest operating system. OS in the physical machine called a host operating system. This is called a host OS. Okay, this is called a guest OS. Okay, so this is my 2019 server. For me, it is guest. I have Windows 10, that is host, like that. Okay, so you want to create 32-bit or a 64 and provide a virtual and provides virtual, which has been available previous version of Hyper-V. Generation 2. This virtual machine generation provides support for newer virtualization features as a UEFI based firmware requires supported 64-bit guest operating system. 64-bit guest operating system. Okay. So look at here, I am not writing everything. You have to go through once this picture. Otherwise, if you want, I will take a snapshot of it. Yeah, last time gather some information. That is, I will try. Nothing, no reaction at all. So he said like a control shift, sorry, Windows shift print screen. Nothing, no reaction. Uh, Okay. Okay. So this is I will save it and I will share it to you. So otherwise you can cut it up to here. So then you can closely look at this one. Mm, okay. So look at here, guys. If you select a generation 1, what it is, what is the generation 2? So simple terms for our understanding, it supports 32-bit and 64-bit guest OS. Okay. And it is a BIOS based firmware. It's a BIOS based firmware it is providing, not UEFI. So exactly say all type of OS. Okay, all type of operating system, Windows, Linux, old operating system, new operating system, everything we can do with the generation 1. Only thing is it is a BIOS based. So we'll go to the first generation and then. So you have to choose a generation before you install OS or before you create a virtual machine. Once virtual machine is created, you can't do anything. Guys, this is the assigning memory. This is a startup memory. What is a startup memory? When I start a virtual machine, when I start the virtual machine, okay. So when we start a virtual machine, so I put a 1 GB. Means when I start the virtual machine, it take 1 GB only. Okay. Okay. So this is 1 GB virtual machine. 1 GB. Once it's a 1 GB virtual machine startup memory. Startup memory means what we can say. And when I start the virtual machine, it will take 1 GB from my physical RAM. It take 1 GB from my physical RAM. When it is running, when the virtual machine is running, more RAM is required, right? So more RAM is required. Maybe I'm running some application. It required totally 1.5 GB. So it will take 1.5 GB from my RAM. Okay, 1.5 GB from my RAM. Okay, so like this. I will go to new one. So we'll go to this save. Look at here, guys. This is my server. This is my virtual machine. Okay. So in my virtual machine, I put a 1 GB startup memory. 1 GB startup memory. It's a startup memory. Okay, it is a startup memory. Means when I start this virtual machine, it consumes 1 GB RAM from my physical RAM. Now I'm running some application. Means 1.5 GB required. For example, total VM requirement increased. Then it is 1.5 will take from my RAM. Now everything is closed. Nothing. System is in a ideal. Only it is taking. System is ideal. It is taking only 700 MB. Okay. So that RAM only it is will have. Guys, look at here. In my physical machine or a virtual machine, whatsoever it is. Okay. Anything. My server is a 4 GB RAM. 4 GB RAM. Availability 2.5 means how much it is utilizing 1.5. Think like it is a 1.5 it is utilizing. Okay, but I given a 4 GB to my machine. It means it consumes 4 GB from physical RAM, right? So 4 GB. Okay, how much it is utilizing? Less than it. But here it is. Use dynamic memory for the virtual machine means if it is utilizing less than it, if it is utilizing less than given a RAM, it is utilized that much only. If it is required more, it expands. It is like a elasticity type. Machine required more RAM, consumption is increasing. So it will take more RAM from the physical RAM. Consumption is decreasing. Decreasing. Less consumption. This is a dedicated RAM size, for example, 2 GB. Machine required more than it. It will take from physical RAM. Machine not utilizing that much, less it is utilizing. It will take less utilized from the physical RAM. So that is one more feature of Hyper-V, that is dynamic memory feature. I given 1 GB startup memory, it's okay, no problem. Okay, this is a network connection, so it is not connected. Why? Because of we are not done anything virtual switch manager. Next, so how much virtual hard disk you wanted? By default it is a VHDX and it is 64 terabyte maximum. I put a 60 GB for my virtual hard disk. Okay, so it is in a generation 1, guys. So install operating system later. Install operating system from portable CD DVD, means from CD-ROM you can able to install. Next, you can install from the ISO image file. You can have a physical CD DVD, you can install the OS from there, or if you can install from ISO image file. Also you will get a portable floppy disk, and also you can install from the network based installation. So that is disabled because of network connection not given to this virtual machine. Next, I'm going back generation 2. What is a generation 2? Generation 2, generation 1, OS install from physical CD DVD. Okay, ISO image file through network virtual floppy disk. Okay, if you have a DOS kind of stuff. So that is one more point in the generation 1. Generation 2, it support 64-bit OS only. Only newer version, virtualization version type of things. Okay, and it is UEFI firmware support, means OS supports UEFI type. So earlier when we use a 2012 time, it is specifically say you should use Windows 8 and Windows 8.1, Windows 12, 12R2 only. Okay, so look at here it is generally Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10 64-bit operating systems. Of course, in a server side, 2012, what happened here? It is shut down automatically. Shut down automatically because of it is expired. So I'm adding a network adapters. All are VMnet 1 only. This is VMnet 2. Okay. Two adapters, VMnet 1, VMnet 1. So I will explain that one. So because of, again, I have to power on. The time is like that, guys. It is okay. 2012 R2 onwards. It is there. It is mentioned. Now it is not mentioned. Maybe it is not a guarantee. Like if you have a Red Hat 7, it is UEFI based operating system. It is a UEFI based operating system. 64-bit operating system is there. So maybe it is works. Maybe any OS we can able to install. Okay, all type of OSs like a Windows, Linux, anything we can able to install. Anything you can able to install. But here it is only 64-bit operating system, UEFI supported operating system you can able to install as they mentioned. But this is we didn't test it at we are not yet tested this one in the generation 2. So if you want it, you can able to do it. Okay. Next, while installing operating system, it won't agree all this kind of stuff. Limited type of operating system supported. No physical DVD. No physical DVD. No floppy disk. Only you can install operating system from ISO, image files, and network only. So no other options. I will show you that generation 2 kind of stuff. Yeah, it is restarting, right? Okay, see, look at this picture. This virtual machine generation provides support for newer version feature as a UEFI based firmware and requires a supported 64-bit operating system. So compulsory UEFI based firmware and 64-bit operating system, not given any specific operating system version. So whenever the time, guys, the people who are still there, are you understanding what is Hyper-V, what is the use of Hyper-V? Okay. So just only I will tell how to create a virtual machine and the networking related. There is a 2 parts of network virtualization. I will tell and I will stop that one only. So we'll meet you on Monday related. I will inform. And people are keep dropping. That's, I don't know. So earlier you batch people are very good. I don't know why, because please tell me the reason why people are keep dropping every day. I don't want you people to suffer like all of the sudden interview. Okay, so and not confident on a subjects. So those two things should not be there. And that too already SAR is completed, but networking, that's why I didn't touch networking. Networking, go through networking, guys, today and tomorrow. Okay, go through networking. First of all, Windows servers, Active Directory, DHCP, DNS, 3 things are very important. The 4th one is Linux. Linux basics, guys, I forget. Maybe I told that one. Linux basics. Administration is the next one only. Very important is basics. Without knowing the basics, it is difficult. Okay, so then compulsory go to the basics. Virtualization practicals, no need to do anything. Okay, you have to listen and you have to write, or maybe you can try if you possible. Otherwise, no problem. No problem. Practicals are only secondary part. If you try, I can try this virtualization related one. Yes, I added a 3 NICs to my virtual machine extra. So then these are the these are the 3 things. Okay, I have a multiple NICs are there. So I will tell what is NIC teaming, virtual NICs and all. I will tell. So thing is not this one. We need this one. We need a Hyper-V. So again, we already I showed generation 1 information, right? Okay, because of this is a evolution version and it is expired. Okay, license is showing as a expired, then it shows like that. Okay, so that's why you can see this. Create a new virtual machine. Again, any name we can put it. So okay, so I want to store in this location only. I'm not changing anything. Generation 1 options already I showed. Generation 2 I'm doing it. Generation 2. Next. Okay, use dynamic memory. So it is when I start a virtual machine, it will take 1 GB. When I select this one, if it is required, it will consume, or it is not required, it consume less. Okay, no dedicated memory here. So it is network is not yet configured. I will configure network, then I will do connection. And I will put a size of hard disk. Virtual hard disk is 60 GB is enough. It's a dynamically allocated only 60 GB. Check the locations. So can you see only 3 options? Install operating system later, install operating system from bootable image, or install operating system from network based installation server, means WDS server. From WDS server or SCCM server, if you want to install, you can install it from like that. Okay, so that is third option. It is not enabled because of network is not connected. Network is not connected. Okay, so use ISO image file. Go to browse. Guys, whenever I showed this virtual machine kind of stuff installing, that time I connected my physical machines drives and folders to my virtual machine. See, it is a Z drive it is showing. Okay, OS folder. So find out where is your operating system. Name of our operating system is like this one, right? So like this. Okay, which is our operating system. Otherwise, if you put a Windows Server name, this is a Windows 10. This is Windows Server. You can see server evolution. Open. Next. And finish. So virtual machine is creating. Okay. So of course, if you require, then you can turn on the machine. Yeah, fail to create a new virtual machine. Encounter while creating machine. Generation 1, 2 only. So otherwise, I will do like a virtual switch manager. Temporarily, creating a actional switch. Create actional switch. Okay. Actional switch 1 I'm creating. Okay, it is binded to one of my NIC. I have 4 NICs. It is asking which NIC you want to bind it. I will explain this one by creating another one. So why it is failed, I don't understand. So I will try once more. If I failed again, so I will stop there and I will go to the switching only. Again, maybe because of it is in the shared folder. That is also possible, right? It is in the shared folder, maybe because of that one. But it is a very big size, yes, right? 5 GB file kind of stuff. That's a big problem. Added an extra hard disk, right? Added extra hard disk. Where it is? It's become offline. Why? Open. Okay, this is a E drive. That is why it is failed. Okay, that is why I think it is failed. So we'll try again. Um, Tension is always a tension. Generation 2 dynamic memory. So we'll try one more time. Yeah, see, now this is switch is coming. Column not with the switch. Okay. See, can you see this option is enabled, but we are installing with the ISO image. Okay. Go to this Z drive OS folder. Sometimes it won't install from here, but it is there. It is for taking copy from 5 GB onto copy from one to another one. It take lot of time. Again problem. Again a problem. Why problem? See, it will take lot of time. It is copying, so we'll see. What I will do, I will put a install operating system later. Then later I will do settings. Meanwhile, it will be finished, right? Finish. Machine will be created. So once it is copied successfully, then I will utilize. Guys, look at here in the E drive. See, this folder is created. So this is your virtual machine, and this is your virtual hard disk. Initially, it is a 4 MB only because it is not yet created. So this is the virtual machine files. Okay, it is in your location only. It's still copying. It will take time. So it is a virtual machine settings. So click here. Go to settings. If you want to do any specific changes, you can also do it. Like you can add a hardware like a SCSI controller, network adapter, fiber channel adapters like that. If you want to change the firmware, like it is by default, it is a UEFI firmware because of generation 2. Okay, so network adapter, hard disk drive, it is showing both the kind of stuff for a framework loading. So this is load OS from network adapter by means like boot order type. This is boot order. Okay, you can change the boot order also. Security, so it is a generation 2 is giving you security. That is one thing that is I said no, that feature is there. Shielded virtual machine. This is a shielded virtual machine. 4 GB. This much of slow. I'll go to another options. See, it is RAM is 1 GB startup memory. I enable a dynamic memory. Enable a dynamic memory. So it is minimum RAM means you given 1 GB, but your machine will maintain minimum 512 MB RAM and it expand up to this much of RAM. It's like almost like a 1 terabyte of RAM. Okay, but it won't happen because of my physical RAM is 4 GB. In my physical RAM available memory only it will take it. You cannot take more than that one. Okay, but it can fall up to not less than 512 MB RAM. Buffering thing. So virtual processor and nested virtualization is also one of the feature in 2016 server. Migrate physical computer with a different processor version. Okay, like I'm using Intel. I want to migrate to a different type of processor, maybe AMD, maybe i3, maybe i7, maybe some dual core kind of stuff, maybe gold processor, Pentium gold processor. So different type of processor I'm migrating, no problem. So select this one, you can migrate to any type of host. It can be any processor. This NEME, that is a non-uniform kind of stuff. Yeah. It is finally copied, guys. Finally, it is copied into E drive. So what I'm trying to do is I am adding a extra DVD hard drive like this. Image file, browse. Not this one. E drive we have a copy. Okay, that's it. Network adapter. So you can change the network adapter if in case you want to change it. VLAN IDs. These things are there. Name, description, integrations between your host and a virtual machine, checkpoints, start page file, okay, page filing, automatic start action, automatic stop action. When you start your computer, do you want to start this virtual machine? When your computer is started, virtual machine also started. When you shut down your computer, virtual machine also go to shutdown or saved mode or turn off or shut down. These are the options are available. Okay, CD-ROM is inserted. Now I'm going to connect it. Guys, this is for connecting, starting, move means live migration, export like a cold migration, export import kind of stuff. Okay, you can import a virtual machine, like import virtual machine if it is exported from somewhere. It is showing connected, connect. Why it is not displaying? That is okay. I will start first then. I started a virtual machine without connecting. Status is showing a thing. Can enable replication settings and connect. So it is started. Assigned memory is 1 GB currently. Just it is started. You can turn off, shut down, save the virtual machine. Save means like a sleep mode type. Sleep mode type. Why it is not connecting? Yeah, now it is connecting. Video reconnect it. Connect it. Okay, now it is started. Go to full kind of stuff. So it is Hyper-V start. Okay, it is DVD is already inserted. Yeah, I will go to settings. It is still struggling. Yeah, it is not struggling. It is coming, but I lost. It came press kind of stuff. So in a after hardware DVD, after adding a DVD, it is showing like this. You can move up also. Up one by one option. Install now. Guys, can you able to see the full screen mode of this machine? If I click this maximize, it look like this one. Guys, usually we select the last option for a GUI mode, but I don't want to do it. I will install this third option or a first option only. It's a pure core one. This option omits most of the Windows graphical environment. Manage this command prompt or PowerShell or remotely with the Windows Admin Center or other tools. Okay, data center evolution. This is core mode. So the hard disk is GPT type of hard disk only. It's split it into 4 parts. Why? Because of generation to UEFI automatically. That one. So it is going to install. So let it install. Just I'm closing this option. Just this window. I'm closing it. No problem, guys. It is running in a background. It is running in a background. So meanwhile, without doing any separate work, because it should be installed, right? It will take time. Anyway, 10 minutes time it will take. Meanwhile, I will show you virtual switch kind of stuff. It is also covers. It is also covers. What it will covers? It also covers network virtualization here. Because so here it is in Hyper-V. Hyper-V virtual switches. Okay, every place is different ways of representing of switches is the guys there. So first one is in a network virtualization. It's a virtual representation of something, right? But works like a sectional switch. Internal switch. Private switch. Three type of switches you can see in the Hyper-V. Three type of switches are there. External switch. This external switch. Yeah. Virtual switch means it is telling what is that option for. It is telling what is the option for. Binds to the physical network adapter so that virtual machines can access a physical network. Okay. This is external. I will explain guys one by one while I am typing it. Okay, just I will type, that's it. This is internal switch creates a virtual switch that can be used only by the virtual machines that run on this physical computer, and between between the virtual machines and the physical machine. Internal switch does not provide connectivity to a physical network connection. So that is internal. The last one is private. Private good. Why? Because it's only two lines. Private create. Yeah, guys. Lot of people think we need a video, PPT, or maybe some textbook kind of stuff. If you are look at your system in your Windows operating system, it will tell you so many things. Okay, that's read it things, so then you will understand and you can try, so then you will be able to do it. That's a very simplest thing way to learn. Okay, so these are the three type of switches. I will explain each switch like that. So first is external switch, guys. This is the virtual machine. Sorry, this is my server. Okay, this is my server. Look at the server. This is my server one, like this. Now I have a virtual machines. Okay, multiple virtual machines or a single virtual machines, like that. Last time, for example, I put a machines one only. Then people are asking, sir, what it is. So guys, look at here. This is my external switch. External switches are binded to your physical NIC. External switches are binded to physical NICs. Binding is there. So virtual machines, when they are connected to these external switches, so you are able to communicate out your physical network, like VMnet 0 type of network only it is. Okay. Okay. So your machine is connected to the network. So then you can able to communicate outside of the network. Means virtual to virtual communication is there. Virtual to physical machine communication is also there. Okay, virtual to virtual communication, virtual to physical communication, and your virtual machines to physical network communication is also there. It means you can communicate outside of your machine is possible. That is called a external switches. That is called a external switches. When you create external switches, you have to specify which physical adapter. Look at here in my PC. I have a already physical adapter is there. Okay. Okay, already one NIC is there, NIC 0. Okay, look at here. Already done one external switch. This is my Ethernet 0. On Ethernet 0, I created a NIC. So see, it's nothing showing here because it is bridged to this Ethernet switch 1. If you look at here, the IP address is came from there to here only. So this Ethernet 0 is my physical NIC is bridged to this external switch 1. Okay, it is bridged to external switch 1. I have a multiple physical NICs, Ethernet 2, Ethernet 3, Ethernet 4. Okay, means 4 external switches I can able to create it. Go to here, external, create a virtual switch, and I'm removing this part and I put a just for understanding. Okay, like this. So where you want to bind it? So I want to bind another one, not a first one. I want to put a second one. Okay, these are all options also important, but I'm not doing much. Okay, simply I just click OK. And my current virtual machine, the current virtual machine is connected to external switch 1. It is running, right? So try to connect it, reconnect it. Okay, because of the virtual machine is running on our hardware directly, not by some application control. So then we can able to close and reconnect it back anytime. And another one is go to service management. There is a Hyper-V services are there. So you can go to manage the services related to that one. See this is Ethernet 1. On Ethernet 1, I created a external switch. So that is, it shows here the data here. Okay. So this IP address came by because of I'm also a DHCP server. Okay. I'm also a DHCP server. Okay, look at here. This is my another Ethernets. Directly you can see their IP address details. But if you go to this 0 and Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 1, you can't see any details in it. Why? Because of it is bridged to external switches. It is restarting. Okay, minimize. See, it is assigned memory is reduced because it is not utilizing that memory. Just I am refreshing. See, Ethernet 1 is gone and it is came external switch 2 only. So guys, this is external switch. Okay, this is also an example of network virtualization. Guys, if you go to network virtualization, PPT kind of stuff or any video and all, the big explanation like NGX kind of stuff. But in a reality, it is very simple to understand network virtualization is virtual NICs, NIC teaming. Okay, look at here it is. Virtual NICs, NIC teaming, NIC teaming. Okay, so virtual switches. Next, virtual routers. Routers also there. Routers and also bridges. Actually, bridge is not a device, software defined. Bridge is not a device, it is a software defined. Network bridges, software defined bridges. This is software defined, virtual only, virtual routers, virtual switches, NIC teamings, virtual NICs. These are all comes under network virtualization. Network virtualization. Guys, here it is. I have a virtual machines and I have a switch that is called a internal switch. The switch is internal switch. There is no relation between your physical NIC to your internal switch. Okay, so these virtual machines are connected to the internal switch. So what will happen? Your virtual to virtual communication is done. Your virtual machine to physical machine communication also available. So you can assign some IP address here. So then we can able to communicate virtual to virtual, physical machine to virtual also we can able to communicate. But you cannot able to communicate outside. No outside communication. So if virtual machine is connected to internal switch, you can't communicate outside. So I will show you how to create an internal switch also. Okay, we should not keep this thing. Yeah, very good. My virtual machine is up, but I will complete this switches. See, two external switches already there. I'm going to create internal switch. Internal switches are not binding to your physical NICs. Okay, so obviously, if your virtual machine is connected to your physical thing, so this is the internal switches. You can assign IP address to it if you require. Okay, and if you connect NICs, this NIC to your physical machine, okay. So this is not binding to anyone. It is not binding to any physical NICs. It is a separate internal switch. Guys, understand what is an internal switch? Virtual machines connected to internal switch, they can communicate each other and also they can communicate to our server, but they can't communicate outside network. The last one, third one is, yeah, I need a big one. Yeah, number of NICs means number of internal switches you can able to create it if it is required. Actually, no, because I want to create another one. So like this one, I want to create an internal switch. Create internal switch. We can create it, I think. Internal switch 2 I am creating. Yes, we can able to create it. Okay, so it is NIC internal switch created. It got IP address from me or no. It is got IP address only. Okay. So that is internal switches. Now next one is private switches. Private. Okay. Private switches. So again, I took a virtual machine and another virtual machine, and there is a private switch. And again, same as the internal switch, private switches are not binded to your physical NIC. So no relationship. No relationship. This is a private. Okay. This is private switch. Okay. Private switch. Virtual machines are connected. Those virtual machines are connected to a private switch. For example, this private switch number is private 1. What will happen? They will communicate each other, but they don't communicate to physical machine. No communication to physical machine. No communication to external network. No communication outside. No communication say. Who will communicate? Virtual to virtual communication is there. Virtual to virtual communication is there. Either it is a internal switch or a private switch, guys. So when you are connected to a particular kind of stuff, it is become a specific network. So you can see this is V3, V4, and I created another private switch. Okay, another private switch is a private 2. Okay, I connected like this. Again, V2 to V3, V4 can communicate each other, but V2, V3 or V1, V3 or V2, V1, V2 to V4 cannot communicate. So they communicate each other, but they won't communicate like this until unless someone is connected. No bridging, nothing. It is like a separate private network. It is like a separate private network between these two things. See, in a one single system, we have a multiple servers and they are maintaining the separate network wise. That's what it is called a network virtualization. The physical network, external connections. See, we can able to communicate over the physical network by bridging to your physical adapter. We can maintain a private network with your physical host and virtual machines using internal network. You can completely isolate it from the physical network and host machine. Okay, we can completely isolate the network from your physical machine and a physical network by using private network. Okay, so still we are able to communicate each other but separately. So this is the whole concept of Hyper-V switches, internal, external, private switches. Guys, understand? Last point is private switches, that is we have to create it. Go to virtual switch manager, private, create private switch. Okay. Click OK. Private switches does not appear on the network adapter things. Private switches does not appear on the network adapter kind of stuff. Why it is not appear? Why it is not able to appear? Because of not connected to no interference with the physical machine and a physical network. So that's why private switches are not appear on the network adapter list. Internal switches are appear, external switches are appear because external switches communicate to your physical host and a physical network. Internal switches communicate physical host and don't communicate physical network. Private won't communicate with your physical host or a physical network. So that is a NIC kind of stuff. Okay, so then I said one more point, that is a NIC teaming. Guys, look at that one also. I will tell NIC teaming here. Look at this is my machine. Try to adjust to look at the picture. This is my server. Okay, this is my server. I have a multiple physical NICs are there. Okay, look at this is the last, guys. Okay, last only in a NIC in a networking part. So this is my regular physical switch or a kind of stuff is there. These physical NICs are connected normally to your switches only. Right? So these individual NICs are connected to Okay, each one. So first NIC, second NIC, third NIC, fourth NIC. Each are having some IP address, IP address, IP address, IP address, like that, right? So when it is communicating, like a user is communicating to my server, okay, either with this IP, this IP, this IP. Guys, look at here. There is a possible a NIC can be down, right? A NIC can be down. If NIC is down, we can't able to communicate. So what we will do, we team up the NICs, either one, two NICs, or three NICs, or four NICs. Means two or more NICs we create as a one team, and we assign a IP address to the team. Okay, we assign IP address to the team, not to individual NICs. Now what happened if one of the NIC is down? No problem. If one of the NIC is down, no problem. Still we can able to communicate. Second one is it will distribute the traffic with these NICs, so then we can achieve more space. Like one NIC is down, two NICs are down, still no problem. We can able to communicate. If all NICs are working, it will do load balancing also. The last point in a network virtualization, NIC teaming, means two or more NICs, physical NICs, okay, combine and create a logical NIC team, assign IP address to NIC team. Okay, so here it is. It give failover and load balance. Failover and load balance. What is a failover? Look at here. If one of NIC is down, no problem. Other NICs do the data transmission. Load balance. Okay. Distribute. These two words are very important. Failover, load balance. One server is down, other server provide a service. That is a failover. Load balance. Distribute the load to all other NICs. If you have 10 computers, 10 computers distribute the load of the program or a service. That is called a load balance. Okay, these two things will occur with the NIC teaming. Okay, so for example, I have a 4 NICs, NIC1, NIC2, NIC3, NIC4. Multiple teams you can create it. Here it is all NICs in a same team. For example, contains same IP address, same IP, same IP address, contains same IP address. If one of the NIC is down, No problem. All other NICs are still working. So network won't be down. Guys, remember, important of infrastructure management, server can be down anytime. And down anytime. But service should not down. Okay, this is a very important, guys. Okay, NIC is down, but still data should be communicate. NIC, all names are same. NIC is down means NIC is down, but network communication not down. Okay, a disk is down, but storage access should not down. So like this is the theme of infrastructure management. Whatever it is happen, service must be available. Whatever it is happen, service must be happen. So this theme we call it as a high available service or a 100% uptime service, not a server. Okay, you want to get it, so then you have to do these three things. What it is? Failover load balancer, failover load balancers to high available service, 100% uptime, always available. These are the terminologies very important to maintain the infrastructure. Last one I will show you how to create a NIC teaming. So it is internal switches also created. Guys, I have a Ethernet 2, Ethernet 3, two NICs are there. I will create a NIC teaming. See, NIC teaming disabled. It is showing disabled. Okay, so here it is. First enable the NIC teaming. How to enable the NIC teaming? Teams, task, new team. I'm creating a new team here. So teams between these two things. Okay, these two things become a one team. I put a team 15. Okay, additional properties of NIC teaming. Switch independent, load balancing is dynamic or address hash or a port or a switch static teaming like that. Static teaming mode, static teaming, switch independent, LACP. Okay, like this. These are the different things. I put a switch independent, dynamic, standby. Which one is standby? Okay, I put a Ethernet 3 is a standby one. Okay, 1 second, I will put a full screen mode. Okay, so it is a standby adapter is Ethernet 3. Click OK. So two NICs, standby is Ethernet 3. I'm just waiting. It's creating a NIC team. Warning is generated. How many packets are sent and received? It is showing. So which one is active? Where it is team interfaces. So one team, yes, default connection team, send and receive packets. Adapters. I think it is separate. Yeah, here it is. See, it is. See, this is first one Ethernet is two is active, three is standby. It is a failover, perfect failover, not a load balancer. Failover means NIC2 is working, NIC3 is standby. If in case my NIC2 Ethernet 2 is down, the third one become active. So that's, you can see here it is. So refresh. So team is created, NIC team 5 is showing like this. Some IP address you can able to assign, no problem. So team, see NIC team 2, 3. This is 2, this is 3. Combined team. It does not have any IP address. This also does not have any IP address because of IP address is assigned to this NIC only. Okay, NIC only. Okay, currently this is active, this is standby. What I'm going to do is I'm going to network adapter 3 means 2, meaning is 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is 3, sorry, 2. Ethernet 2 is this one, disconnect. So it is Ethernet 2 is plugged, but teaming is working. How it is working? So just refresh, look at here, and down you can see Ethernet 2 is disconnected and Ethernet 3 is become active. So that is called a failure between NIC teaming. So again I'm connecting it. So again it is got connected now, and just we need a refreshment. Properties, remove kind of stuff. Where is this? Yeah, I will refresh. Okay, but I can't able to show you the pinging kind of stuff. Otherwise I can show you. One 192.168.231.19. So that is, we'll get it from here. 192.168.231. That IP given by VMware only. Okay, that is IP given by VMware. Guys, it is try to ping request time dot, very good. It does not know where it is located, or maybe a firewall. Okay, turn off the firewall. Private, public, everywhere. Turn off the firewall. Okay, we are in our own network, right? So no problem. Okay. Again, try pinging. Firewall is turned off. See, it is become active and standby automatically. 131, 129. So I connected to that network only. Maybe oh, it's okay. Leave it. It's already time up. No problem. Okay, guys, this is your NIC, combine multiple NICs together and become a one single team. So if any of the NIC is down, still no problem, we can able to communicate. That's the theme of that one. Okay, and here it is, my virtual machine is came. Okay, so here it is, you have to click OK. Alt Control Delete to unlock. That is my virtual machine, but this is Hyper-V machine. Okay, This is Hyper-V machine. Hyper-V is right control, right click like this. Alt control right, left arrow, alt control, left arrow. Otherwise, we will see this thing like a send signal type. It will be there. Yeah, alt control end. It is showing. Okay. Okay. New password admin@123. Password changing. Okay. It's a CLI mode, so don't worry. So what are we discussed, guys, here? How to create a virtual machine, how to create a virtual machine, what is generation 1, what is generation 2, okay, and what is a dynamic memory. So what is a dynamic memory, that is also we discussed, okay, and what is a virtual switches, different type of virtual switches, what is NIC Teaming, we discussed it. Okay, that's it for your Hyper-V kind of stuff. And also virtual hard disk, just generally we discussed it. Why it is taking that much of time? So it is 540 only. Why I choose this type of operating system? Why? Because it's a CLI, consumes less space, consumes less RAM. Okay, that is the thing. You can see it is turn off button, shut down. My physical machine is shut down. It's okay. Let it shut down. That's it enough, guys, for you. Anybody having any doubts? Anybody still available? Only 7 is available. No problem. Guys, this is about Hyper-V. Okay, Hyper-V things. And this is comes under network virtualization also. Okay, so your storage virtualization, network virtualization, Hyper-V, Hyper-V virtual machine means the generation 1, generation 2 is completed. Okay. One last point I will tell and I will put it. Fixed dynamically expanding. If you see in different technologies, names are changes, expanding. The fixed disk. This fixed disk also called as a thick provision. Dynamically expanding also called as thin provision. Okay. So don't get confused with the thin provisions or something is different. Dynamically expanding also called as thin provision, thick provision. So that is also be careful in that one. Yeah, it is down automatically because the evaluation version it is expiry. No problem. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm stopping here. Okay.